Dear global pioneers, as we review the dynamics of our community, I want to clarify a couple of important points. First, it is important to note that the GCV is set at $314,159, rather than the $3,141.59 suggested by some misleading information. Some unknown sources say the GCV CT code uses 314,159 represents cents instead of dollars. This caused confusion among the pioneers. It must be emphasized that GCV 2 cents is not necessary. After checking our Pi wallet, it was found that its accuracy can reach 7 decimal places. When we use GCV $314,159, pricing for products and services has reached cents. Our joint efforts have resulted in more than 5 million GCV data entries, accounts for more than 80% of real barter blockchain records. To illustrate the principles involved, consider the analogy of growing watermelon seeds without beans. We created $314,159 as GCV. It will not change to $3,141.59. You must understand that anyone can write code on GCV, so please don't fall into someone else's trap. It must be understood that CT can only accept the value generated by blockchain pioneers, and GCV $314,159 has been confirmed and meet the long-term goals of Pi Network. The date will not be mentioned without confirmation of CT, because it would not be possible without GCV because having would be a disaster for the Pi Network. It is necessary to avoid using price to describe Pi value. Instead, use value to describe Pi. The process by which we create GCV data is similar to coin minting. In history, governments have determined the metal content of coins. If there are bad coin practices, for example, reducing the weight of copper, silver, or gold will be severely punished, because this behavior has the potential to destabilize the economy of a country. This principle applies directly to the Pi Network. When the global CT must recognize and accept the value of the Pi coins created by the pioneers, GCV is $314,159. In order for to thrive, the entire ecosystem must respect and adopt this GCV. Otherwise, it could cause chaos, which would surely destroy the Pi Network. In addition, it is essential to understand, in the absence of a defined GCV, enterprises, especially large ones, will be unwilling to accept Pi as a payment method. No merchant is willing to accept a currency that lacks a stable value. This need to clearly define value explains why does CT take more time before starting Latency is not just due to differences in KYC and migration data. It also reflects the need for the ecosystem to use GCV to generate more data. We have to create an environment where more businesses accept Pi as a payment method to enhance the fundamental integrity of our ecosystem. The more companies are willing to accept Pi and GCV, the safer and more convenient the transition to A question that is often asked is how businesses can participate in our ecosystem before implementing especially when they need cash flow to maintain operations. As I have always advocated, our strategic approach involves a combination of Pi and fiat currencies. This dual model allows businesses of all types to participate without having to worry about paying taxes to the government in fiat currency. Make sure they can cover their operating costs. In addition, this approach allows them to pass our promotions, achieve moderate profits, and expand customer base. When building an ecosystem, it is important to recognize that we are entering a real business environment. We shouldn't place expectations on corporations, let them operate like charities. On the contrary, we must create a level playing field and an incentive business environment. Ultimately, companies prioritize profitability. Our community has the ability to support them in achieving this goal. The goal of the community is to strengthen GCV, attract more businesses to accept Pi as a payment method, and adopt GCV. Pioneers should cooperate with all ecosystem players to benefit all participants. Businesses need more customers and profits. Pioneers seek a broader product range, lower fiat payment options, and create more GCV data before The most important thing is that the Pi network needs to diversify its business in order to succeed after Pioneers would benefit from a system that allows for partial fiat and partial Pi payments. The system allows them to operate for up to 90 days, reduce fiat currency spending on groceries and essentials. This will lead to a stronger ecosystem after and provide a complete Pi payment option based on GCV. All pioneers should understand. Require businesses to accept full Pi payments before will prevent businesses from joining the Pi network. Businesses can only thrive when they can achieve profits and benefits. They're not charities. The desires of the pioneers must be satisfied endlessly. We must respect market rules. Pioneers should incorporate their buying habits, transferring from outside the community to within the community. Let the outside world see the value of joining the Pi network. This helps businesses generate profits and encourage them to introduce their suppliers to the service as soon as possible. This is essential for establishing a production chain. This way, we won't need fiat currency in the future. I want all pioneers to grasp our goals and strategies. Our goal is not just On the contrary, our goal is to achieve a successful with long-term sustainability and prosperity. What should pioneers do? 1. Only accept barter transactions of GCV $314,159. Avoid participating in the black market. Do not engage in any barter transactions of non-GCV Pi value. 2. Actively distribute the Pioneer Handbook to every pioneer around you, and make sure you read it 5 times. 3. To introduce more companies to the Pi network, and explain the benefits of participating now. Web 3.0 blockchain will enable them too. It is well positioned to compete in the future market. By accepting partial Pi payments from GCV, they can become famous and attract customers. In addition, we will complete the within a maximum of 90 days. This means they can capture the market earlier, without any cost. Pi can be exchanged for fiat currency after assist yourself and your team in completing the checklist. Remember the long-term success of the Pi network? It depends on the collective efforts of all the pioneers. When we come together to nurture the GCV ecosystem, we will attract the attention of major companies, banks, governments, and organizations. Our own strength and success must come first. They only support us when we succeed. They need to benefit from it. Too many pioneers mistakenly waited for governments and banks provide capital or companies offer high-end products. This approach is wrong. If we only want to use them, these entities will not risk supporting the Pi network. They need to see the value of working with us. If we can't provide them with benefits, why did they choose to support us? Government funding comes from taxpayers' money. They can't have citizens in trouble. Funding pioneers with citizen taxes. Corporations focus on profits, and banks also seek returns. If the Pi network lacks a strong ecosystem, they're not going to support us. Remembering this is crucial. The solution lies in pioneers partnering with CT. By working together, we can build a strong ecosystem. Others will want to participate. They will recognize our blockchain and the value of our pioneers as users. Rely on our Pi coin for stability and convenience, and use for future international settlement payments. I urge every pioneer to read this message carefully and unify our way of thinking towards a common goal. Let's ignore distractions. Let's ignore conflicts. We will work together to support each other and drive the Pi network to great success. Only through hard work can we achieve our dreams.